Ebomane gente ayekene kuno ozo no bossy uruchinketa. I see you good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends your time and your location. You are joining us today at Eastern News 24. I see the bike and konyo chikwelu ya zelo. I see na yadra ni bona mana ya dike echi. Necha da agwagu. Otu ay kuro chako ya diriri. Ise, ise. If I would tell you no bossing ketab, if I na morning tea, dika I say would tell you ni rakupo. Basta maka the Biafran Declaration and update on PM His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa ya bife wetara n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Edika ihe soro ya bụ ife dịka ị na-egi ya ka ba alụ ka ị drop your own comment dịka ihe anụ ihe Biafran Republic gọọmenti na-eze anyị were ikwu gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si aga gbasara maka Biafran Prime Minister and Biafran Declaration nke bụ nke na-abịa na 2nd of December. All right, over to you.
Let me start with the dangerous diversity. In Nigeria, there is no harmony in culture, in ethnicity, religion, constitution, sense of belonging. You ask yourself, why do most Nigerians keep leaving the country in droves? When I say in droves, Nigerians leave the country in droves, both from the east, west, north, and south. Every day, thousands of Nigerians are at the airport trying to leave the country because most of them cannot express themselves inside that terrorist state and not get killed or imprisoned by the Nigeria government headed by current President Tinubu and the senators and the House of Representative members. In Nigeria, this is among the only country where we have two religions being practiced. They practice Sharia in the north, and then they practice the regular constitution in other parts of the country. And I want to ask anybody listening to me, how can you operate two constitutions in one country and you expect the indigenes to just keep quiet? If you are a Christian living in the northern part of Nigeria, President Tinubu makes you live by the Sharia law. If you do not obey the Sharia law, President Tinubu is part of the people that supports the Sharia law that we stone an innocent Christian to death just because she wants to question what is going on here. You all remember the story about Deborah. Deborah was murdered, was stoned in the streets of the northern part of Nigeria where Sharia was practiced. Did any of you hear President Tinubu make any comment, or the former president of Nigeria, Buhari, or Atiku, the one contesting for president? Did anybody hear them condemn this practice that you do not have to kill any indigenous Nigeria just because they are living in the northern part of Nigeria where another kind of law called the Sharia is being practiced, is being supported by this same Nigerian government today? We have the marginalization of Biafrans all over Nigeria. All the major high offices in Nigeria, in defense, in Navy, in Air Force, in Army, in the police, in the central bank, there is no professionalism to get the best person. Rather, it is about your tribe and who you know. Most Biafrans has been stopped, have been marginalized, have been sidelined in arising to their highest potential in the Nigerian leadership based on what President Tinubu currently has in place. That is why the declaration of the independent state of Biafra is going to happen this week in Finland. Nothing, no Jupiter can stop that. There is also the centralized police station in Nigeria today. All the police that works in the whole country, all of them are under the federal government. This increases the crime and terrorism because every state head must get permission from the federal before any major arrest or function can happen. So if you are in Abia State or Ebonyi State or in Kaduna State or in Lagos State or in Nasarawa State, and somebody comes over there and commits a crime, the local police authority have no power to arrest or detain that individual until the power and the order comes from the federal, controlled by Tinubu. That is why you have so much increase in crime in Nigeria, because the federal controls the state police. This is what we have been fighting against. This is what Biafrans have been fighting against over the years. Give powers to the regions to control their police. That is the only way the regional police can fish out the terrorists that are invading our country. But President Tinubu, the Nigerian senators, the Nigerian House of Representatives, they refuse to do that. That is why Nigeria now is a bed of roses for most of the terrorist organizations in the world. I also want to talk about the insecurity, the reintegration and rehabilitation of non-terrorists by the Nigerian government. This policy has led to the Islamization of Nigeria. If you all don't know, currently, as we speak, and again, I'm going to let you know things that are in place as we speak, so that if you're not familiar before, right now, you are going to be well informed after my Twitter space. The Nigerian government has a policy to reintegrate and rehabilitate non-terrorists into the police force, into the army, into the navy, into the custom, and into the state. And you know what happened? When they reintegrate these terrorists, their major concern is to Islamize Nigeria. These are the terrorists they sent to all parts of Biafra. Anybody that has opposed this system, President Tinubu sent the military to that part of the world to kill their indigents. As we speak, President Tinubu and the Nigerian senators and the House of Representatives, they've sent thousands of these reintegrated terrorists into Biafra territory, into Biafra land, and they continue to kill our people. They continue to maim our people. They continue to rape our women. They continue to rape take over our land, destroy our farmland, destroy our economy. That is their agenda. What was our crime? What is our crime? Just saying that all these things I'm mentioning is no longer making the world a better place. Does not make our life better. We all need to go our different ways to start as a new nation. That is the right thing to do. We cannot continue to function in a country where terrorists have taken over the military and the police. Even some of our indigenous Nigerian police officers, military officers are being killed by these reintegrated terrorists in the battlefield. And I can supply you evidences when you seek that. The Islamization of Nigeria, where Nigeria is a secular state. We have mostly Christians and some Muslims. But this current president of Nigeria, with some of his predecessors, have systematically turned Nigeria into an Islamic state. And that is why Nigeria is a member of IOC. They made the country, without the approval of the Christians, they dragged the whole country into the Islamic Republic. That is why Nigeria is a safe haven for terrorists. Nigeria being a member of the IOC with the rules that guide the membership. I need you to check out what is the rule that guide the membership of an IOC. They have their rules before they admitted Nigeria to become a member of the Islamic Organization Council. There is a rule that you have to meet as a country to become a member of IOC. And one of those rules, and I'm going to look for more, is that somehow you have to make your country mostly, even if they are Christians, 50-50, you have to make everything there mostly Islamic. That is why today Nigeria is a member of the Islamic Organization, despite the objections by the Christians inside Nigeria. That is why you see heightened increase of the murder of Christians in Nigeria. I can give you instances in Southern Kaduna, in Jos, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, the killing of over 300 people in Plateau State in December 2023, the killing in Ehamufu, the killing in our leader's house, Mazinamde Kanu's house. They reported 30. But I promise you, when Nigeria gives the reporters 30, just multiply that by 2 or 3 or 4. That is the number of innocent Nigerians they killed just for nothing because they want to actualize their Islamic agenda. The killing in Ebonyi State, the Aba massacre, the recent one, all young Nigerians, young Biafrans dressed in white, they were marching on the streets of Aba, just requesting for the release of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, whom the Nigerian government has been holding for almost 3 years for nothing except we want the nation of Biafra because we cannot live in the same community with terrorists. Nigerian government is holding Nnamdi Kanu today. There are several massacres, of which anybody here that need more information, request for the information from me, please call me. My phone number, 770-329-7339. Again, 770-329-7339. And I'll give you more detailed information, some of which I'm not going to cover here because of time. In Nigeria, there is oppression, suppression, and killing of unarmed innocent citizens just for marching on the street. You're all familiar with the last march that was done like 2 or 3 months ago, the End Bad Governance. Do you all know how many innocent Nigerians that were killed by President Tinubu using the Nigerian police and army? They were up to, I believe, they were up to 30 to 50 or more innocent indigenous Nigerians murdered in the northern part of Nigeria for nothing, just because they were marching against bad government. Some of you are familiar with the Answers March, which happened in Nigeria. Some of you are familiar with the number of innocent Nigerians that were killed during that protest. Even though the Nigerian government denied, nobody was killed. But all the human rights activists, all the human rights report has pointed to the fact that Nigerian government murdered innocent NSAS people, NSAS Nigerians, just because they were protesting against the brutality of the reintegrated terrorists that entered Nigerian police. That was why the Nigerian government killed all of them. There was the Aba March, the innocent Nigerians were killed, the Mwa March, innocent Nigerians, and these are all unarmed, innocent citizens expressing their point, expressing their right against bad leadership. There was the Headbridge massacre. There was the Mpo massacre. All these were done by the Nigerian government. Anybody that's saying that our PM is instigating, Nigerians and Biafrans here, we love to confront you, to ask you, how do you define instigation? When innocent indigenous are murdered by their hundreds every month, and nobody is talking about it except our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and our leader Nnamdi Kanu and others. We all are aware of the recent Okuama killing. Over 100 citizens, mostly males, were killed by the Nigerian military. Innocent citizens. How many court cases do we have in Nigeria against this military that murdered these innocent people today? How many have been, I'm not even going to go talk about compensation. But where are the court cases against the Nigerian government for the killing of these innocent citizens in Okuama, the oil-rich Delta region? Who is talking about that? Who is telling Nigerian government you cannot take life that you did not give? Nobody. Only our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has sworn by his life. He is going to defend Biafrans and any indigenous Nigeria that is going through what Biafrans are going through. So I tell the Finland government at this moment, please, any questioning that's been going on our Prime Minister, please release him ASAP. Let him just have his freedom. Give him back his telephone. Because this battle, you are not going to win it. Nobody. Because it is the right thing for us to do. And we must continue to do that. I've talked about the reintegration and rehabilitation of non-terrorists into the Nigerian system. And the current Nigerian Defense Minister, Christopher Musa, has explained in detail how Nigeria reintegrates non-terrorists. And I can tell you at this point that some of these terrorists that are reintegrated into Nigeria by President Tinubu and Christopher Musa, Senator Godswill Akpabio, these people have started taxing indigenous Nigeria in some states of Nigeria. In some states of Nigeria, if they don't pay taxes to these reintegrated terrorists, they will not allow them to harvest their farms. All of you listening to me here, both abroad and home, tell me, is this the kind of thing that happens in your own country where terrorists are officially reintegrated due to the government policies and they take over the land, and then the indigenous are now being held hostage and being taxed? If they don't pay the tax, they are not going to cultivate, they cannot going to reap the fruits of their labor. They cannot go to their farms. Think about this. We have a lot of kidnap going on in Nigeria. Mass burials. We have mass burials in Borno, Kaduna, Katsina, Imo, Anambra, Ebonyi. Mass burial. This, again, I want you all to be very clear with me today. The reintegration of non-terrorists into Nigeria doesn't just happen. So I'm calling on America, I'm calling on Europe, I'm calling on Finland, I'm calling on all the developed countries of the world to be fully aware that these reintegrated terrorists, they don't just come to Nigeria. The Nigerian government invites them for political reasons to win elections. And when they've helped them to win the elections, then they want to dump them back to the Sahel where they belong to, and they refuse to go. That is what is going on. When they refuse to go, Christopher Musa, the defense minister, what he does is now craft a policy with President Tinubu and Buhari, the ex-president, to reintegrate this terrorist into the Nigerian system. And that is why the havoc is going to even get worse. What country in the world rehabilitates and reintegrates non-terrorists? Because the Nigerian government does not know what it takes to safeguard the lives and properties of its citizens. That is why they have that policy. All they want is power. Who is going to help me get power? But Biafrans, we are going to let the world know the power belongs to the people. The power does not belong to the people you brought in to vote for you in an election so that you're going to win the election. I'm going to talk about the compromise and corruption during elections in Nigeria. Candidates are imposed on citizens. Even the Supreme Court cannot go free of this system. We have an instance where a governor that was fought in the state election, Hope Uzodinma, was eventually brought to the first position. And currently he is the governor in a state in Nigeria. All thanks to the Nigerian state headed by President Tinubu, the Nigeria Supreme Court that swore that guy to power after another person won the election. Let me talk about the lack of justice. No obedience to the rule of law. Nigeria is a lawless country. Lawless in every sense. And all of you, most of you are aware, when Nigeria tried to contest in the United Nations human rights position, only 2 or 3 people voted for Nigeria. There's a reason for that. Finland, I'm telling you, there is a reason when Nigeria contested it was last year, United Nations position for human rights. Now,
ende bay wadaludi nen kunisi Venezuela ni yane meni robo ubosi uru chinketa na Eastern News 24 baba siwere uteru ya bozi dika sipunu kona gene uteru update wasta maka kosi ya botu kosi ya dene bedi chiche kefi were kwi wasta maka ya bife no ilu akwụkwọ ubosi uru chinketa drop ora ifiche no dinkege on the comment below na Eastern News 24 kemesi anu munnem.